and it's never a boring moment.
Yes. So I do have a theory of why, like if simulation theory is true, then it is actually very likely that the most interesting outcome is the most likely, because only the simulations that are interesting will continue. The simulators will stop any simulations that are boring because they're not interesting.
But here's the question about the simulation theory: is the simulation run by anyone, or
Yeah,
is
it would be run by someone.
it would be run by
or some
force?
the program, like in this reality that we live in, we run simulations all the time. Like, so when we try to figure out if the rocket's gonna make it, we run thousands, sometimes millions of simulations just to figure out which path is the good path for the rocket, and where can it go wrong, where can it fail. But when we do these, I say at this point, millions of simulations of what can happen with the rocket, we ignore the ones that are where everything goes right, because we just care about we have to address the situations where it goes wrong. So basically, and for AI simulations as well, like all these things, we keep the simulations going that are the most interesting to us. So if simulation theory is accurate, if it is true, who knows, then the simulators will only they will continue to run the simulations that are most interesting. Therefore, from a Darwinian perspective, the only surviving simulations will be the most interesting ones. And in order to avoid getting turned off, the only rule is you must keep it interesting, or you will because the boring simulations will be terminated.
Are you still completely convinced that this is a simulation?
I didn't say I was completely convinced.
Well, you said it's like the odds of it not being are in the billions. Well, I guess that's not completely, because you're saying there's a chance.
What are the odds that we're in base reality? Well, given that we're able to create increasingly sophisticated simulations, so if you think of, say, video games and how video games have gone from very simple video games like Pong with two rectangles and a square, to video games today being photorealistic with millions of people playing simultaneously, and all of that has occurred in our lifetime. So if that trend continues, video games will be indistinguishable from reality. The fidelity of the game will be such that you don't know if what you're seeing is a real video or a fake video. And like AI generated videos at this point, you can sometimes tell it's an AI generated video, but often you cannot tell, and soon you will not be able to tell. So if that's happening in our direct observation, then and we'll create millions, if not billions, of photorealistic simulations of reality. Then what are the odds that we're in base reality versus someone else's simulation?
Well, isn't it just possible that the simulation is inevitable, but that we are in base reality building towards a simulation?
We're making simulations. We're making simulations. We make, like, you can just think of like photorealistic video games as being simulations.
Mm-hmm.
And especially as you apply AI in these video games, the characters in the video games will be incredibly interesting to talk to. They won't just have a limited dialogue tree, where if you go to like the crossbow merchant, and you try to talk about any subject except buying a crossbow, they just want to talk about selling you a crossbow. But with AI-based non-player characters, you'll be able to have an elaborate conversation with no dialogue tree.
Well, that might be the solution for meaning for people. Just
Video
lock
games.
in, and you could be a fucking vampire and whatever. You live in Avatar land. You could do it. You could do whatever you want, and you don't have to think about money or food.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, but with higher living standards.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in a little trailer.
I mean, I think this people do want to have some amount of struggle or something they want to push against. But it could be, playing a sports or playing a game or something.
It could be
like
easily
that.
playing a game.
Yeah,
And especially playing a game where you're now no longer worried about like physical attributes, like athletics, like bad joints and hips and stuff like that. Now it's completely digital. But yet you do have meaning in pursuing this thing that you're doing all day. Whatever the fuck that means. It's going to be weird.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting.
The most interesting and usually ironic outcome is the most likely.
All right.
That's a good predictor of the future.